Hey everybody, my name is Orion Powers. I'm a software engineer at the Florida Institute of Technology in Melbourne, Florida. And I'm going to show you guys and kind of document how I built these really sleek NFC business cards. Now, what an NFC business card means is that when you tap it on a mobile device, I would demonstrate, but I'm recording on my mobile device, it automatically pulls up my website or whatever information you want it to be. In my case, it's my website that contains my contact information, my resume. It's a very kind of like Orion themed ecosystem that leads to, which is pretty cool. And these come in, I can make these in a variety of color, kind of whatever color I want. It's a blue one, and that's a green one. I have even pink ones, but I kind of wanted to show you how I made these. So initially I got the idea from my cousin, but I noticed online when I looked to go buy one or figure out how these were made, the only way that these were made were kind of in metal, and you weren't supposed to hand them out. You were supposed to just keep one card to yourself and never hand it out. And each card costs like 50 bucks. So I was like, there's gotta be a cheaper way to do this. So I went online to like Alibaba, I'm pretty sure, and I ordered these NFC cards. They're just black cards. This is kind of what the card looks like normally. It comes just like this. And this is a black NFC card. And what that means is it's basically kind of like a blank credit card almost. I then decided to laser cut them would be the best way to put the pattern in. I had to learn how to use, I've never used a software called Lightburn before, but I had to learn how to use Lightburn because what the machines here mainly use. It's kind of the standard they want you to use. And here is kind of the initial design, right? Ryan Powers, QR code, all of that, you know, nothing crazy. And I kind of wanted to show you guys some of the test cases as I went to laser cut them. So here was the first try. This was just to see how it engraved, how paint and acrylic would work with these, different tests to see what the right settings and frequencies for the laser cutters would be, which laser cutters were the best. I had to test out 3 different ones. And I actually, as a matter of fact, have cards being made as we speak in this white box right here. Yeah, so here you can see a bunch of different tests. Here you can see another test where I tested a bunch of different gradients and speed, or powers and speed. And here's another test on a different laser cutter. Here's a test for the chips to see how well the fine lines came out. And then here was the first attempt at a functioning card. There's some, you know, glaring problems. The one first being there's holes in the card. And then second being kind of the text is kind of hard to read. It's very faint. There's QR codes on the back, but I tested the QR codes before we did this actually. Then the next iteration though, you know, we fixed the whole problem, made the text easier to read, a little deeper, works better, but the icons came out blurry or like not great, you know, it's hard to tell what they were. So then we had to I had to redo the icon designs, and now it kind of came out like this, you know? And then there's some more iteration with smaller effects, like example, I changed the words under the microchip, nothing crazy. Once I had the design hammered out, I brought it over here to this laser cutter, which I will come show you how it works. So on this machine, here are my designs. I can set them up. So actually, I'll do something cool. I will show you guys. Well, it looks like this is a live, not a live camera, but a camera of the inside of the place, of the inside of the laser cutter. So I built a frame that is this kind of huge black box in order to keep the cards in the unified spot every single time. And here is laser cutter actually in action working on them. These ones are almost finished. They're about 70% of the way done. But that's how I just cut them. And I'm basically doing 2 at a time, which isn't the fastest, but it works. I don't need 40 of them, so I'm just doing it 2 at a time because it would have taken longer to have to like make a new frame and do the whole molds and all that. That frame actually I was able to find because somebody else was using the frame for other cards that were similar shaped. Because these are just a regular standard credit card basically, like credit card size. These are common size. After these cards are designed, which I have a whole string of, if you can see that, and I have a whole pile of 20 over there. My goal is to make about 30 or 40 for the job fair coming up. Once those were designed, what I did was I found out that if you take acrylic paint only really sticks to textured surfaces. So this black area that's non-engraved, super smooth. Acrylic paint does not like to stick to this, but the areas where it was laser cut in the past is kind of rough. It's rough and textured, and it's got grooves on it, and the acrylic loves to sit in those cracks. So basically what I do, which is pretty easy, because thank goodness I am atrocious at art, at like just drawing and painting, not my thing. So what I did is basically just take a paintbrush, lather up the card in acrylic paint, wipe it off with the paper towel a couple times, and I kind of let it sit for a little bit, let it dry, and then I would take a paper towel with rubbing alcohol, and I would wipe off the other excess, because apparently acrylic does not like rubbing alcohol very much. So if you kind of go over the top, given the fact that all the acrylic you want it to be attached is in the grooves, when you go over the top with rubbing alcohol, if you do it kind of lightly over and over, the surface stuff just comes right off, and the stuff within the grooves stays in place. So that's how I made them colored and like finished them up, polished them up, and they really aren't that hard once you kind of like have it done. So here's just kind of, you know, the colors. There's a pink one in here. I've kind of been experimenting with colors. My favorites so far have definitely been the gold card, wherever I put that thing, and white. White has also been a cool color. I feel like they're more professional. I feel like I would have a hard time handing a recruiter a pink card, but there was kind of like a fun test. So the next part about the NFC cards, kind of the most important part, is making them work. Making them work is actually extremely straightforward. I was surprised. I thought programming these would be, you know, a little bit of a hassle. Like there'd be a little learning curve to figure it out. But it is super easy. You just need any device that has an NFC card reader, like your phone. That's what I used. And you can download an app that can program them easily. So I went to App Store, right, found like NFC Writer, downloaded the first or the second one, and then the way you program it was just what contents do you want in it. And I selected URL, and I put a link to my website, orionpowers.com. Go look it up, it's a good website. And then I had to export it, and the way you export it is by pressing right on the app, and then putting the chip next to your phone, and it like connects automatically through the air by magic. I don't really know how that works actually, but magic, we'll go with that. And yeah, that's kind of how I built these super sleek chips. These chips have been, I don't know, I think they'll be an eye-opener at the job fair I got coming up, just because they're kind of such a unique thing. And given the fact each chip costs 50 cents to make in total, including paint and designing them, or paint and the actual card itself, I have no problem handing these out to recruiters or anyone at the job fair for that fact. So that's kind of the process behind it, and that's how I made them. Thank you very much.